ahead and get started. This portion of orientation, again, is our best orientation. It's a mini version of what all new employees get. So I'm actually going to ask for volunteers to read things off the screen. We're going to have some discussion. So just be prepared to interact with me, okay? And I think it's quite funny. Usually when I ask for volunteers, everybody looks down at the ground. Like if I'm looking down, she won't see me. I can still see you. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. One thing about this help that we do huddles here. All right, so every shift, every department gets together and they do a huddle. We're actually going to do a huddle this morning. All right, huddles are a time for the employees to get together. Yes, we read off a piece of paper. All right. But there's really no rules to the huddle. We want the huddles to be used to get to know your team members. Because if you don't have your team members back, even as students, you can't run the place alone, right? You can't do things alone. And you need to build those relationships with your fellow students and also with the employees, okay? So, I need everybody to stand up. And I need someone to volunteer. Here we go. I need someone to volunteer to read the huddle. Let me get it pulled up off the screen. And this one is a short huddle. And it's on recognition. Who wants to read? Okay, go ahead.
Big shout out to Megan Youthman of Conway. When the hospital was doing callbacks as a patient went into great detail about her occupational therapist, Megan Youthman. She said that she looked forward to their treatment sessions and that she was an awesome therapist. The patient said she knew that Megan was going to Conway, and we are lucky to have her as part of the Baptist Health. Big thanks to Megan for all you do and for representing Baptist Health in Conway and the therapy department while working at another Baptist hospital location.
All right. So at the end of every huddle, well, actually, with department sharing, we can brag on employees, brag on students. Does anybody have anybody they'd like to brag on today? Anybody? Yes.
I'll brag on my partner over here for giving me notes.
All right, that's all. Well, it's bad you can't write, but it's awesome that you have somebody that will help you. All right, anybody else? Okay. So the scripture is, "You are my refuge and my shield. Your word is my source of hope." Psalms 119, 114. So we always end the huddles with "all our best begins with."
Me.
When I say with, you say me. Okay? All our best begins with who?
Me.
All right, great. You can have a seat now. You just did your first huddle. So whenever you go to your clinicals, you know what's going on. Okay. So I'm going to start moseying around. I can't see how much moseying. Alright. So let's start looking at our mission, our belief, and our values. Alright? We actually have a Credo card, and I do not have them here for you today because they are on order. But I promise you, I will make sure that every one of you get one once we get them in. I like to think of this little Credo card, we wear it on our badge, as like the Reader's Digest version of all of our belief, vision, and mission. Okay? We have patients and visitors ask us, "What is that on your badge?" And we let them know, these are our values. We carry this around to remind us that this is why we are here. Okay? And we're going to go over each one of these. So this is when I'm going to start asking for volunteers. Because you don't want to just listen to me talk for the next 45 minutes. You do? All right. So somebody read our mission up on the screen. Let's see. Not everybody at once now, okay? Go ahead.
Baptist Health exists to provide quality and patient-centered services, promote and protect the voluntary, not-for-profit healthcare system, provide quality health education, and respond to challenging health needs of the citizens of Arkansas with Christian compassion and personal concern consistent with our charitable purpose.
Thank you. What's your name?
Kendall.
Kendall. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Whenever you read this, what are some words that pop out to you? faith-based organization. You don't have to be a Christian to work at Baptist Health, okay? But you have to exhibit that Christian compassion. When you hear the word compassion, what does that mean to you? What is compassion? Right, caring. Putting someone else before you, right? Okay. What else pops out to you? Quality? Absolutely. We want to make sure we provide quality care to our patients, all right? Anything else? Does anybody in here know what a non-profit organization is, or not-for-profit? Well, Baptist Health is a not-for-profit organization. And what that means is that the money that we make doesn't go to the board members or outside entities. It actually comes back to us, okay? So whatever we make, it comes back to us. We can update our buildings, buy new equipment for our floors, our units, right? So that's what a not-for-profit organization means. Any questions about our mission? All right. Our belief. Somebody else read this book to us.
Baptist Health is more than a business. It is a healing ministry. Our healing ministry is based on the revelation of God through creation, the Bible, and Jesus Christ. At Baptist Health, care for the whole person, body, mind, and spirit is an expression of Christian faith. We are instruments of God's restorative power and are responsible for giving compassionate care.
That's pretty powerful. When you read this, what comes to you? What are some words that come to you when you read this? Anybody? One thing that sticks out to me is it talks about, of course, Christian faith, because we are faith-based. But you're caring for the whole person, the mind, the body, and the spirit, right? You're not just putting the IV into the patient or dropping that NG tube. You're actually caring for their mind and their spirit. Because we know if somebody's not in a good place, right, mentally, it affects them physically. So we want to make sure that we are looking at the whole patient and not just the physical part. Right? Our values. So these are our values. And I wish we had a credo card. I wish I had a credo card for all of you, because this is the point where I actually asked for discussion. So I'm going to be reading this from the credo card, and we'll talk about the bullet points in it. Okay? But the first one is service. When you think of service, especially in healthcare, what does that mean to you? Before I read the bullets off the credo card, what does service mean to you? Yeah, to do for someone else. Working in healthcare, it doesn't matter if you're in a non-clinical or clinical position, you have a servant's heart. You walk in the hospital doors every single day, committed to taking care of our patients. Commitment means you're putting that patient before you're putting yourself. And it takes a special person to do that. Not everybody can do that, right? So with service, the first bullet is I give my best every day. Not just sometimes, not just when I feel like it, but every day, right? I know I'm going to take the rose-colored glasses off here. I'm going to be transparent. Life is not perfect. People go through things. And it's hard sometimes, and it takes that commitment to walk in those doors, in the hospital doors. When you have stuff going on at home, your boyfriend broke up with you, right? You know, you're having family problems, or something is going on, or you might have just had a flat tire and it's work. But guess who doesn't care about that? The patient. They want you to be present. They don't care about if your boyfriend broke up with you or your girlfriend broke up with you. They are there because they are sick and they need you to be on your A game, even as students, because you're going to have clinicals, right? And I can tell you, patients can tell when you're sincere and genuine and when you're not. All right, so try to leave, not try. Make sure you leave all of your issues and all of your things that are going on at home, okay? And if you need to go in the bathroom or step to the side or just take a breath, do it, all right? Okay. I'm kind of preachy here, I'm sorry. All right, bullet number 2 is I am committed to serving. Again, you guys have a servant's heart because you're going to nursing school and you know you're going to be taking care of patients, right? I anticipate the needs of others. This is big. When you think of anticipate the needs of others, what does that mean to you?
Staying on top of your game.
Yes, staying on top of your game. What else? Absolutely. Okay, you work at Baptist? Who here works at Baptist? All right, you're using some verbiage here. So I knew you did. Yeah, you're going above and beyond. You have to put yourself in that patient's shoes. If you're a patient, what would you want, right? You want that cup of ice without having to ask for it. You want that pillow or that warm blanket. So anticipate the need. You want to delight the patient, right? We don't want just expected. We want to delight, right? Because that's why we're here. They're our number one priority. Honesty, this one is a huge one. I have integrity. What is integrity?
Doing the right thing when nobody's watching.
Absolutely. Doing the right thing when nobody's looking. I can tell you also, working in the hospital, that we have, quote unquote, off-stage areas and on-stage areas. But I will tell you, when you're in the hospital, in reality, there's no off-stage areas. Okay? So always do the right thing, even when no one's looking, even though they probably are looking. Okay? Because people, the hospital is large, but there's so many people there, employees and patients, they see everything. Okay? I practice fairness. This is huge. This is huge. Why do you think being fair is important? Not only to your fellow students, team members, but also patients. You want to treat the patients fair. You don't want to go to one room with one patient and treat them different than the next room, right? Also with employees and students, there has to be fairness because without fairness, that trust is gone. And we want to make sure that we have trust with our fellow students, team members, and our patients. And then last bullet under honesty is I encourage others to improve. That's a big thing at Baptist Health, right? They are cheerleaders, I guess you could say, the supervisors, and I know your faculty members are too. They want you to succeed, okay? And they want to see you to improve. They want to see you motivated, right? And they will help you along the way with that. Respect, that's a huge one. I treat all people with compassion. All people. Even if you don't like them. Even if they push that call light 15 million times a day, right? You have to treat them with compassion. I lead by example. Wow, that's kind of a big one. What does that mean? What does lead by example? Absolutely. Yeah, stepping outside that comfort zone of yourself. And people, again, are watching you. So you do want to lead by example. And I value every person. The next one is stewardship. This one's a little bit more difficult, I guess you could say, to explain. But this one is related to managing our resources. We want to be good stewards of our resources. So, when you go in a patient's room and you take them a toothbrush and toothpaste and all the things that they get when they come to it on admission, you don't give them 15 tubes of toothpaste, right? You only take the supplies in there that you need and only give them the supplies that are the things that they need, right? You have to be good stewards of that. So the first bullet is I use my talents. We want to make sure that everybody that's employed and also students at Baptist Health are using their talents. Right? You wouldn't want me to be a nurse that's not using my talent, and that would not be a good resource at Baptist Health, right? So that's a big one. I manage our resources. Again, don't go and use a whole packet of paper to make a copy of one thing, right? Or make sure you, with the supplies of the patients, that you are mindful of that. And I act as an owner of our facilities and equipment. Who in here has been a renter? has rented an apartment or house? Who in here has owned a house? What do you take better care of? The one you own, right? Well, you are going to be spending a lot of time at our hospital, especially when you graduate and you're going to get a job at Baptist Health, right? We're going to be you spend a lot of time at Baptist or at the hospital. So you want to make sure you treat it as if you own it, okay? Don't treat it as a renter. Treat it as if you own it. That means that if you see trash on the floor, pick it up. If you see something that needs to be fixed, pick up the phone and call maintenance, all right? Because you may be the only person that does that. Even as a student, do it, all right? Performance, this one is also a big one. I take pride in my professional appearance, language, and behavior. Why is this important? Why do you think taking pride in your professional appearance, in your language is important, especially working with patients? Absolutely. First impressions, they last a lifetime, right? What else?
We are the face of Baptist.
Yes, you are the face of Baptist. What if you're a patient and you are in the hospital about to have surgery? Your doctor comes in with this white lab coat on that has blood handprints all over it. What would you do? I wouldn't want him operating on me, would you? Right? So whenever, you don't have to spend a lot of money you guys are in scrubs. This is what we tell our employees in employee orientation. You don't have to spend a lot of money to look professional. But we also don't want you to look like you just rolled out of the bed either, right? Because your appearance does make a big difference with our patients. I cannot control how others react, but I can control how I react. Wow. This one is big too. You will run into situations, even as students, because you're in the scrubs and you have a name badge on, okay? Whenever you're doing clinicals, you may have a family member come up to you. Even though you don't have access or you're not taking care of that patient, you may have a family member come up to you and they are upset. Their family member did not get to the bathroom like they needed to, or their IV has infiltrated and nobody has answered the call out to take care of that. And they may come at you just in your face upset, right? As a student, how would you react? Like a professional, yes, right? You want to listen. We're going to talk more about this in just a few minutes. But you want to, don't speak over them. Don't speak over them because that's just going to escalate the problem or the issue. You want to listen to them. You want to look them in the eye. You want to nod because it shows that you are actively listening to them. And even though you may not be able to fix the situation, never say, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about and I can't help you, okay? What you want to say is, I'm sorry this has happened to you. I can't fix the problem, but I'm going to find somebody that will, and I will get back to you. And give them some sort of a time frame depending on what the situation is. All right? So be mindful of that because it will happen to you. Even as a non-clinical employee, walking through the halls, it's happened. Okay? I am patient-focused. Again, we're a hospital, and that's why we're here, is that patients are our #1 priority. We are patient-focused. Okay? Any questions about our values? Again, you will have these on your badge. Some of you already have them, since I saw several hands that you're already employed, so you do know what I'm talking about. For those of you that just new to you, I promise you I will get this to you. Okay? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop up a couple of logos on the screen. Okay, we're going to talk about them. Here we go. Chick-fil-A. When you think of Chick-fil-A, what do you think of? Chicken and O's on Sundays. And on Sundays, when do you want when do you want Chick-fil-A the most? Sundays, right? My goodness. What else about Chick-fil-A? Ridiculous words. Very nice. Great customer service, right? What is it about their customer service that's so wonderful?
My pleasure.
Always polite, my pleasure, right? They are a fast food industry, okay? One thing that I've noticed personally about Chick-fil-A is that I can go to the one in Bryant, go to the one in in Little Rock, or wherever, and it's consistent, right? You get the same service at every single Chick-fil-A. Has anybody run across the issue where you have not? No? They are consistent, okay? And I'm going somewhere with this, right? I'm going to pop up another Walmart. Now, I'm not going to knock Walmart, even though crazy things always happen there. But when you think of Walmart, what do you think of? We hear that every orientation. Every orientation we hear that. There's 50 lanes, but there's like 3 people checking out, right? Why? I have no idea. I think they do it all for Black Friday, but that's just my own opinion. What else about Walmart do you think about? Crazy people. Employees are not happy. How many times have you been through a department and you ask an employee, hey, where is the soap? Because they're always moving stuff around, so I can't find anything ever. And they always say what? I don't know, or that's not my department, when you know it really is, right? So what is the difference between Chick-fil-A and Walmart? There's no consistency, right? Again, I'm not knocking Walmart because they do wonderful things too. We do use this as an example. There's no consistency. Now, let's talk about consistency, especially in healthcare. Why is it important to have consistency when working with patients or with your team members? Absolutely. You want to be reliable. And one thing about Baptist is we are a huge system. We don't just have a campus at Little Rock. We have one in Arkadelphia, North Little Rock, Heber Springs, Hot Spring County, Stuttgart, right? We're opening one up in Conway. And we want our patients, if they go to the emergency department in North Little Rock, we don't want them to come to the one in Little Rock and say, I will never go back to that one in North Little Rock. They just about killed me. No, we don't want that. We want consistency, not only in the facility, but we want consistency across the entire system. Just like Chick-fil-A, you go to the one in Bryant, you get the same care or the same service as you do the one in Little Rock. Okay? Apple, I'm not going to talk too much about this one, but I've had great customer service with them. I have someone very close to me who has recently had not great customer service. She got it all worked out, but it was kind of a little bit of a debacle. But whenever you have called or had to use, wait, first of all, I have to see this. How many people in here has an Apple product? That's what I thought. Everybody. Okay. I just do that for my own thing. Okay. But whenever you have to use their customer service, is it pretty good? I've always had pretty good experience with them. Right? You have to make appointments to go and see if you do have an issue, but for the most part, the customer service is pretty good. The last one, actually this isn't the last one, I just lied to you. This is the next slide. When you think of McDonald's, what do you think of? Always messing up your order. I've heard some employees say they need a third window for you pay, you get your order, and the next window to fix your order, right? They are a fast food industry. Who else is there in the fast food industry? What's the difference? Consistency. And you know what else I think is the difference? Everybody listen up. You know what else I think is the difference too? Chick-fil-A is a faith-based organization, right? Now, it may have nothing to do with it, but I personally think that it does. Okay? We want to be more like Chick-fil-A, all right? Again, nothing against McDonald's or Walmart. I absolutely love McDonald's, especially their sweet tea. But again, they need a third window to keep your order up. So we want to be a Chick-fil-A. We want that consistency. We want that good customer service. Okay? Any questions about this? About to flash one more up on the screen. Baptist Health. What do you think about Baptist Health? What do you think of when you see this logo? Be honest. It's where you were born? Okay. Wow. Very, very good. Yes. Yes. Excellent perfect all the time, but we do try for that, okay? So now that you are a student, some of you are employees of Baptist Health, but now that you are a student, you are Baptist Health, okay? I will tell you, once you start clinicals and you start interacting with patients, a month or two later, you're going to go to Walmart and you're going to run into a family member or somebody that's going to know, oh, you helped take care of my mom or my son in the hospital. So remember when you're out and about that you are Baptist Health, all right? Okay, I know this looks a little confusing here, but this shows what we expect. You heard me say the term delight a while ago. We want to delight our patients, right? So, at the bottom of the pyramid, that is what is expected, right? Just like if you go to Walmart and you go for bread and milk, if they have bread, you're not going to call your best friend and say, oh my goodness, guess what? Walmart had bread. Well, unless it's snowing outside and it's all gone. But we want to be more than expected, okay? Requested, this kind of goes with anticipating needs. We don't want our patients to have to really request anything. Of course they will. I mean, that's just part of working in a hospital. They'll have to push the call out, demanding medication or something. But this request that we want to anticipate their needs, okay? Just basic stuff. We want to delight them. We want to go, as she said over there, above and beyond, right, for our patients. One of my coworkers, she's now retired and I miss her dearly, she has a great story, and I hope I don't mess it up, and I'm going to try to tell it to you because it really is a good story. There was an elderly patient, man, that was his wife. They were from out of town. His wife was in the hospital. She had a stroke. Okay? They were actually here from out of town because they were here to see their great grandbaby to be born. And in the process, she got ill. Well, the wife was in the hospital for a little bit of time. And the husband was down at one of our vending machines. Okay? So one of our employees, because he was sitting there looking a little bit confused, one of our employees, it was an admissions clerk, came up to him and said, you know, can I help you? Is there something that you're looking for? He said, I eat Big Newtons every morning with my coffee, and I see that you don't have any. What do you think she did? She did go get Big Newtons. Not only did she go to the gift shop, she walked to the gift shop, didn't have Big Newtons. So then she went to the store and actually got the gentleman some Big Newtons. Now, I'm not asking you guys to go and buy our patients things, but it does make a huge difference, right? That's definitely going above and beyond, right? So a couple of days later, she saw the man again, and he was so grateful because what did she bring to him whenever she went to get this Big News? Because he eats them every morning with his coffee. Comfort, right? Comfort. Absolutely, and stability. Yes. He wanted to give her a hug, but he's been in here with his wife for several days. Didn't have a chance to shave or anything, and didn't have a shaved kit. He didn't hug her because he didn't want to scratch her face. So what do you think she did then? Got him a shaved kit, right? Now that didn't cost much because she can go get that from Supply or whatever. But she brought back some normalcy to him. That makes a huge difference. Makes a huge, huge difference. We want to make sure that we're not only caring for our patients, again, they are our number one priority, but we want to make sure that the family members that are sitting with those patients around the clock, that they're taken care of too, okay? If they need a blanket, get them a blanket. If they need some water, get them some water, because they need to be taken care of too. Any questions about this? All right, our 3 steps of service. The first one, again, this is on our Credo card. It's on the actual back panel of the Credo card. The first one is I greet people warmly. What in the world is greet a person warmly? What does that look like? calls like this is greeting people warmly? No. In fact, that's against our policy. Stay off your phone, right, especially in patient areas. We want to make sure that we do greet everyone warmly, okay? 2, be responsive to people's needs. Again, we're here to take care of the patient. We want to be responsive to their needs. And 3, exceed expectations every time. Not just sometimes, but every time. Okay? So, service recovery. Kind of goes back to something we already talked about. Patients or family members that are not happy with care. Okay? So, we use a LAST model to address these situations and issues or problems. All right? L stands for listen. When you have a patient or a family member come up to you and they are completely distraught and they are not happy, you want to listen. Actively listen. Make eye contact. Nod. Don't interrupt. They just want somebody to listen to them. Okay? They want somebody to help them. The second one is apologize. Why in the world would you want to apologize to a family member or patient if you had no part in whatever they're aggravated about? Yes, absolutely. And yes. It doesn't matter. We are Baptists. Okay? We are Baptists. We are one team. What you don't want to do, this is what you don't want to do. You don't want to say, Ms. Jones, I am so sorry. That Emily, she does this every time. We're really trying to work with her to try to get this taken care of, but I don't know. She's not on her A game lately. I don't know what's going on with her. No. No, no, no. We don't want to do that. You want to say, Ms. Jones, I am so sorry that happened to you. I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure we get this right. Okay? Don't throw your team members under the bus to make yourself look better. Don't. It's not a good thing. All right? The next one is solve. Do you think you can solve every problem? I know I can't. I would love to be able to, but I can't. But what you want to say to them is, don't say, I'm sorry, I can't help you because I don't know what you're talking about. No. Again, back to what I said earlier. You want to say, I'm sorry that happened to you. I can't help you. I don't know the answer to that, but I'm going to be able to help you. I will find somebody, get an answer, and get back to you in 30 minutes or an hour. Be realistic. Don't set unrealistic expectations because the trust is going to be out the window if you do that. Okay? And if you can't find out the answer and you give them a time frame, go back to them and say, I'm still in the process of trying to figure this out for you. Okay? And then we want to thank them. Oh my. Somebody in your face, they're mad, not happy, you're getting all anxiety. Why do you want to thank them for coming up to you and telling you that we're not doing a good job?
Because we want to do our best.
Do what? Yes. You can't fix it if you don't know it's broken, and feedback's what? It's a gift, even if it's not good feedback, right? Of course we want all positive and great feedback, but we have to be realistic here. You can't make everyone happy, and their perception is reality, right? So we have to thank them. Thank you so much, Ms. Jones, for bringing this to our attention. We're going to do everything we can to fix this problem for you, and then we're going to make sure this doesn't happen again. Okay? Does that make sense? All right, good. Any question about our last model? Are you guys awake? Okay, good. Actually, this is like the last slide. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a video. All right? This video has music. There's no speaking in it. So just bear with me for just a moment, and I will get this video set up. And then we're going to come back and talk about it in just a little bit.